in Thought.
All right, let's get started. You may learn something.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to Black in Thought, where we take a look at current and cultural issues, applying that Afrocentric drip to them. Your hosts tonight are...
We got the Professor, Dale, JBD, and of course, Ill Will. So, tonight we got a topic that's kind of near and dear to all of us here. I know most of you've heard about this, you've seen about it. You can't stop hearing about it with all the news going on with every day and the things that you keep seeing that's related to it. We're going to talk about, rest in peace, George Floyd. So we're going to begin. Most of you already know what's going on with the situation. If you don't, he was being arrested by a Minneapolis police officer. And during that arrest, during the use of force, a specific officer could be seen having his knee across the back of George Floyd's neck. In which, I mean, it's this situation that's hard to talk about for all of us, you know, as black men first, and then our children, you know, myself being in law enforcement. That's just a tragic situation, a death resulting out of nowhere for it, a piss poor situation that happened. But that's going to be our topic today, and we're going to start off with a little bit of something.
Is the officer pictured with his knee on the neck? Glad to have you with us, everyone. We're now streaming on CBSN Minnesota as well.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is in police custody, charged with murder and manslaughter.
Chauvin is the officer pictured with his knee on the neck of George Floyd for nearly 9 minutes. For nearly 3 minutes, prosecutors say Floyd was not responsive. BCA agents took Chauvin into custody just before noon in Minneapolis today. The charges against him are third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. Esme Murphy was there as prosecutors announced the charges.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has been charged by the Hennepin County Attorney's Office with murder and with manslaughter.
County Attorney Mike Freeman left open the possibility of more charges against Derek Chauvin, as well as charges against the other 3 officers.
The investigation is ongoing. We felt it appropriate to focus on the most dangerous perpetrator.
But we are leading the investigation.
The announcement of a possible charge had been widely anticipated at a news conference yesterday. The fact that it didn't happen has been criticized for fueling the frustration behind last night's protests.
We have now been able to put together the evidence that we need. Even as late as yesterday afternoon, we didn't have all that we needed. We have now found it.
Freeman would not say what that new evidence is. Now, this new charging document does contain a revelation. It says Floyd did not die of strangulation or asphyxiation. The document says Floyd had heart disease and that the combined effects of Mr. Floyd being restrained by the police, his underlying health conditions, and any potential intoxicants in his system likely contributed to his death. The third-degree murder charge is the same charge Freeman used to successfully prosecute Minneapolis police officer Mohammed Noor in the 2017 death of Justine Ruszczyk-Damond. Noor is now serving 12 and a half years in prison. Esme Murphy, WCCO 4 News.
So that brings us to all types of situations when it comes to just, I mean, that news story in itself. How the media portrays it, they flip-flop and go back and forth between things. I mean, it just, unfortunately, this is a very unfortunate situation. Just, it leaves you for a loss of words at times for some of the things that's going on with it.
Not surprised, to be honest. And it's sad to say that. I'm not surprised. We can look back through many cases and now they're saying he had heart failure or intoxications or whatever he said. Like, it was pure murder. I mean, everybody, if you haven't seen the video, I mean, it's easy to access, but you seen the video. That's pure murder, man. Like, and you being in law enforcement, I understand how to, it takes sometimes it's situations where you have to restrain somebody, you have to use force. But once they're handcuffed and once they're no longer resisting and once they're no longer fighting back, then that force is no longer needed. He was handcuffed at that point, and with what 4 officers around there, I think it was. Like, there's nothing he could have done. There was no reason for him to continue to have his knee on his neck. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's no worse than somebody walking up to somebody on the street and shooting them with a gun.
Ill Will, I got a question, and I'm gonna go back a little further when we were talking about the unlawful sexual discrimination in the workplace. Every person who was pointed out, for example, your R. Kelly's, your all these other guys working for these large corporations, when this stuff happened, what was the first thing that the companies did?
Oh, they immediately distanced themselves.
Stay there. I'm going to read this. It says the Naturalization Act of 1906 added the section of the oath requiring new citizens to defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and bear truth and faith and allegiance to the same. When we had issues with the sexual harassment and the sexual claims, these companies represented themselves and said, hey, listen, this person may have been employed with our company, but we don't endorse that. The problem that I'm having is you're not seeing law enforcement step up and say that, right? Again, according to the Naturalization Act of 1906, defending our Constitution against foreign and domestic enemies, and I'm going to define to you what an enemy is. This is a person who actively opposed or hostile to someone or something, right? So until law enforcement defends the Constitution and actively and openly says, hey, listen, this is wrong, then as far as I'm concerned, we have legal terrorists.
Well, I mean,
no disrespect to anyone.
This is where
right.
I disagree with you. They are. It's just that people are so still struck by the situation that happened. They're not seeing all the other things that's happening.
Is this the first case?
And I'll give you an example. Just say with this situation alone, here in Central Ohio, you had the Westerville Division police chief made a statement. He does not support that type of behavior and is not within his department. You've had the Reynoldsburg chief of police do the same thing. The sheriff, he did the same thing. You have officers all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram saying that they do not stand with or support any of that actions.
So Ill Will, I got a question. This is coming from the police chiefs, correct? And the police chief within the organization of law enforcement, what is that ranking, just out of curiosity? Is that like the head guy?
The chief is the top guy.
So if they don't support this, then why is it continue happening? Because if I go to work and I don't support something, that's insubordination. That's dereliction of duty. So if these things keep happening under people who don't support it, do we have the wrong leaders or do we just support it covertly?
Well, I mean, I'll say this. In that instance, I mean, best way I can put it is, have you heard an incident like that happen in, just to say, Westerville?
I haven't, but we have plenty of data showing that our black men are being knocked off pretty quickly, and it's becoming pretty common where we can't, for example, and I know we're not there yet, but the Amy Cooper story where the man is asking this young lady to abide by the law. And in return, she states, I have an African-American man harassing me. And all he has her doing is asking her to follow law. But let's stick to the subject.
But what I think Ill Will saying is that you can't, with your statement, you can't sum up all. Yeah, you know what I mean? You can't sum up all. Right. Now there are okay, my opinion is just like in school, right? Think about when we was in school, you seen a kid do something, let's say he wrote a crazy message on the bathroom wall, right? You seen him do it. Somebody told on him. He got in trouble. You know what I mean? All he got was a slap on the hand. Now the next kid was like, oh well, such and such did it, and he got was a slap on the hand. So I guess it's okay. So in my mind, that's how I'm thinking when you talk about the police officers. Like that's why I think we have to set the police officers need to have an example set for them. You know what I mean? So meaning something has to happen. Like in all these cases that we look at, because nothing happened to the police officer who did it, nothing major like, convictions or something like that, nothing really bad happened. That's why other officers continue to do that. So you can't sum it up and say all, but if nothing's happening to them, then it's hard. It's hard for other officers to learn from, what his brother did.
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
So, a couple things here that come to mind. I think that something that has been bothering me about it is the value of human life. I am trying to empathize and put myself in a situation where you have the ability and authority to take someone's life in your profession, and that's part of something that you may have to do within your job. I don't know how you mentally compartmentalize that in your mind to do that. As far as the value of human life. But when you couple that with prejudice, if you already have a view of, the value of human life that you have to compartmentalize, and you couple that with prejudice, I could see how some individuals could get to that point, unfortunately. And I feel like there's probably some individuals that should probably not be in law enforcement if they can't grapple with that and struggle with that. And I guess going on to that a little bit more with the whole video situation, the guy was on video, and I think pride set in to a certain degree as well, is that he was basically saying, I'm right, you're wrong. Even though you videotaped me doing this, and I probably need to get off this guy, I'm going to show you that I'm doing the right thing. And his pride set in. He was on camera. He knew he was being recorded. Mm-hmm. And he said, screw it. I'm right, you're wrong, and I'm going to prove it to you and prove a point. So I'm trying to understand the psyche of some of the individuals in law enforcement. I don't know if they're not, they have the wherewithal, within them to compartmentalize things correctly, or and they don't default on their training as the way they should. So it just seems like maybe we just have the wrong individuals that are wearing the badge.
Well, let me start here. I mean, and I put it out there. I've been putting it out there. By no way, shape, or form do I condone what that officer did or what those other officers did just by standing around doing nothing and just looking. I mean, I'll say I've been in situations to where I've told other officers, hey, man, you need to lighten up, pull them off in situations like that before that I know that I've done personally. So the mentality, no one has a mentality unless you have some serious issues going on that you just ready to take a person's life. No one has that. No one's ever ready to sit there mentally and take a person's life and, to be okay with it to a point to where, yeah, I took this person's life. Now what? I mean, it's not that. There are some people every day out there that's, can be like that. It's not just, officers though. When you look at it, I mean, that's where your serial killers come from. That's where a lot of your other, I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, I've seen, gangbangers, the the same way. I mean, just
Yeah, but ill will, those are criminals.
I agree with you, and I was going to say the same thing.
So that's where I'm at. It's like
if you do something,
and then when people try to use the black on black crime,
to justify,
it's saying, well, that black on black crime involves criminals.
But no, but I mean, if you look at it, at the end of the day, if that person did something, as far as the officer, if he did something illegal, then yes, that made him a criminal.
Right.
Yes. So you can compare that. That is apples to apples because he did something illegal in that aspect.
But you tend to not hire criminals to be in law enforcement.
But you don't know who's a criminal and who's not a criminal, though.
But
to tell you the truth.
But there are assessments, psychological assessments, correct? To determine if the person is suitable for service. And the reason why I say that, because I did 15 years in the military. We were subject under the UCMJ. During 9/11, several soldiers were discharged for war crimes, for doing harmful and hateful things to people that we considered to be anti-U.S., right? So,
but they still made it in the military, though, even going through that process, though, right?
I agree. They were able to enlist. But once the crime was committed, right? For example, you get married, right? Then you have an affair. It's the same thing. Either you get divorced or you don't. The point I'm making is that we were subject under the UCMJ. We were good when we enlisted. Someone makes a mistake, there's a consequence. The thing that I'm struggling with is that, like my guy is saying, JB, now we're comparing criminals with people who have an oath that has a sworn oath. And can you tell me what that oath is, please? With all due respect. What is that oath?
I still have to go back, though. If they're doing something illegal, that makes them a criminal. If they've done something that they are not supposed to by law, that has legally made them a criminal. So I guess I don't get the separation there when it says, well, now you're comparing someone who took the oath. Well, yeah, they may have took that oath, but they still did something. They did an act that, went against that oath and made them a criminal.
Oh, absolutely.
I guess where I'm at with it is, in any profession, there's guidelines and procedures and things that you're supposed to follow, but they're not always life and death. When you work in a hospital, when you work in a hospital,
like the doctor,
or doctors, or different situations where your negligence can result in someone's death, versus some on other professions where your negligence could just cause you have to remedy somebody with some money. Right. That's totally different.
And I have another one. Now, when I was in the military, I was deployed 3 times, and we had a thing called rules of engagement. Right. Now, I'm talking about some of the baddest terrorists. Even if they pointed a gun at us, we couldn't engage unless they were pulling the trigger, right? That was under our Geneva Convention. Now we have black men,
who aren't even armed.
Children, unarmed, being murdered via a body part, a gun, so on and so forth. And do we have evidence to convict? Is it a crime? Did they commit a crime? But the state can't be bigger than the government. And the government says that even if a person points a gun at you, unless they pull the trigger, the rules of engagement state that you cannot act.
Yeah, so I guess...
as far as for the...
Go ahead, it will.
Right.
You still have state, federal, and local laws.
So what I'm saying is, it's okay... Okay, let's just eliminate the black and white. But it's okay to murder a citizen. And the thing I want to add to this one is unskillfully, because you got your hand on his neck, your knee on his neck, and you say that he had already ongoing issues, which if he had ongoing issues, why didn't they call a paramedic?
Well,
I
think they didn't find that
out.
That was not until after the fact.
Right. But I guess
that came up.
Yeah, that came up.
Yeah, that came up. air quotes.
All of a sudden.
Air quotes.
I ain't doing with you today.
So I guess another
my
question
point is,
another question, Ill Will, that I would have from a law enforcement perspective. Do you feel that the individuals from your experience that are in law enforcement are in law enforcement to protect the good in the community, or that they are searching for some power and authority that they couldn't otherwise have?
Well,
Well, no, I'll answer it. A lot of the men and women that I've worked with, I mean, you would have had an incident already here if that was the case. I mean, you would have most definitely had something with a lot of the agencies or within the agency that I work with that would have proved that. So I mean, I like to think the men and women that I work with are here to protect and serve. They're here to help. I mean, like I said, I mean, we just haven't had a situation like that.
Well, I'll say this. I find it, and haven't been in law enforcement. I don't know, but it seems to me that there's a certain level of fear that accompanies these actions, these acts that happen, that otherwise, if they weren't fearful or they would rely on their training or procedures, some of these things wouldn't happen if the right individuals knew how to handle.
Well, and this is what I'm saying, because I mean, you can't lump everybody into the same category. We was talking about that, necessarily with our people in itself. You can't lump our people in the same category when someone does something wrong. So to put everyone in law enforcement in the category and be like, well, how do they do this? How are you going to do this? How you can't. Everybody is an individual and they function as an individual. So when that individual, whoever does decide to do whatever, as long as the other people who are around, which in that case with George Floyd, I mean, they didn't do anything. They're just as culpable with malfeasance, nonfeasance, and misfeasance, with them not doing anything in that situation. Because I mean, I've never been trained that technique. I can tell you that. I mean, I've been doing this 16 years. A lot of the people that I work with have never been trained that technique. And, some people doing it longer. And, but like I said, a lot of the people I know that I work with, I mean, everyone has been against, those officers' actions. The best thing I heard so far is no one hates a bad cop more than a good cop. I can tell you that right now.
So let me ask y'all this. So the cops, we see what they did. On our end, how do we fix this? Because right now we can point the blame this here, and they're 100% wrong.
Have a wonderful fix. We need our law enforcement agencies to look like our communities. And so with that, we need our people who are underrepresented to start putting in. I talk to men all day long, every day, young men, older men. Hey, why don't you put in? Why don't you put? Oh, I couldn't do that. I can't be the police. Why can't you be the police? I mean, you be the change that you want to see in your community and everybody else. How about that? But no, it's like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, then I'll be this, or that people look at me like that. No, how about you put your best foot forward and you set an example for those same people who are saying, you'll be this or you'll look like this. And then you'll turn their ideal about it, and you may be having them get the same job as you got.
Or you can look at it like this: become part of an organization that's killing the people that look like you. Or you can be a part of an organization that's killing people that look like you. That's why they don't want to be a part of it. I was at Driving Park this summer, and I ran into 2 officers, and I actually applied for the CPD test and got accepted. But there was another incident over the summer that made me feel, and it wasn't the incident, it was the response, right? And I'm going to tell you, for me, with all due respect, if I see law enforcement, I don't want to see the chiefs because they have no control. Obviously, the people who are in charge who apologize don't have any control, because if they did, what you see wouldn't be happening. They would be doing the same thing that these corporations are doing when sexual harassment charges are brought up. They're front and center and say, hey, listen, that's not the views. We don't represent that. This person's been dismissed. If I see that these people are not for community, but protecting a culture, I don't want to be a part of that. Because you're looking at me with a uniform on, and you're saying, okay, bro, I see you with that uniform on, but we just lost another one last week. What are you doing about it? Well, I'm going to be the change that you want to see.
But see, you just lumped everybody back into that same situation
Hold on.
with that mentality.
I did not. What I'm saying is I'm talking about a culture. I'm not talking about a group. Now, what I will say is this. Any man that's a part of any organization that does not speak for injustice, I will lump him in the culture, because if he doesn't speak up for things that are wrong, even if it's within his organization, then he's just as guilty as the man who committed the crime. Am I right or wrong? Because the police, if you commit a crime, he's going to say, hey, D, do something good for the community. Tell me who did it. I watched 48 Hours.
So
hold on. He's going to say, tell me who did it.
So you said, tell me who did
Do
it.
something good
And
for your community.
Now,
my point is this. The police chief speaks up. He's in charge. He's the guy under the commissioner. Then the commissioner, then the mayor, right? But if something is happening where young black men are dying, I'm a part of this organization, and us as officers are not in the public speaking out to create some kind of comforting to the community. The police chief does not bring us comfort, because as far as I'm concerned, if these things are happening, you're in charge, you're letting it.
So,
but hold on, let me say this. I apologize. Let me say this. Those who oppose this behavior must come to the public and say, I don't agree with this. It makes more sense to do it as an officer than as a supervisor or a chief.
So that means, to me, I'm going to say that means you have a blind eye to the people that are doing it, because there are people that are doing it. Because I can point out to several people who are in the community every day. I can tell you, if you don't know this officer by name, on all his social media, his name is Oh No, It's the Popo. He's always in the community every day talking to people, putting stuff on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, talking about, hey, doing stuff with the community, challenging people to do better every day. People always turn a blind eye to that. And when you do try to do something and you're outside of what people expect you to be as the norm, they look at it like, oh, no, that ain't nothing. They don't pay attention to it, and it gets no recognition. And he's just one of many.
Yeah, I don't disagree that there are people that are coming out against it. But for me, I'm just trying to dissect and figure out, within these organizations, what is the root cause of it? You're right.
It's culture.
But I think that you have more people that are black and brown as police officers that could influence the culture.
But has it stopped? Even with the diversity flux, has the killing stopped?
Where's the diversity flux? If you can point out the diversity flux,
I don't know.
Then let me know.
I can't speak on that because I don't.
Well, they're doing a lot more recruiting.
Just because they're doing
for CPD, right?
They're doing a lot of recruiting, but a lot of people aren't taking those jobs.
So the question is, goes back to what I'm saying. Men like me, why would I be a part of something that's killing my own people?
You need to be the change.
It's like becoming a drug dealer. It's like becoming a heroin dealer.
That's the point.
That's exactly what these people want you to do.
That's the point. That's the point he's trying to make.
Right.
When you say you can be that change. Now you're only one voice.
You can relate.
Yeah,
it can't.
You're only one voice, but
you can't wait for the culture to change. You can't wait for the culture to change without you
gotta be the change.
Okay, so think about this. We have laws in place. These guys are sworn to an oath.
The laws are broke every day.
Okay, right?
Do you speak?
Hold on. So that's a good point. So you're saying that the more minorities that join the force, the better our chances at curing this problem.
If you're saying it's a culture,
hold on, JB.
If you're saying
you're saying that if laws can't protect us, a flux of diversity can.
Well, no. What I'm saying
that doesn't make sense.
No, what I'm saying is that laws
and
oaths
can't protect us.
Are going to be broken anyway. That's why.
But diversity can protect us.
That's why they have jails and prisons and they have sentences, because they know people are going to break the law.
So the thing is, no. To answer your question, that is not the fix. If you're looking for a
bigger than law enforcement, y'all.
Exactly. Yeah. One, it is bigger than law enforcement, but
it's bigger than law enforcement.
But having diversity, having diversity in the law enforcement, having diversity in law enforcement is not going to fix it. Absolutely not. That's not going to be the only. That's not going to be the.
I agree with you.
That's not going to be the. No, listen. That's not going to be the fix all.
I agree.
It's gonna take multi levels to this. You know what I mean?
So
it's multi levels. So you talking about it's bigger than law enforcement. It's bigger than the chief. It's bigger than having.
It's cultural.
It is cultural. And think about it. In my point of view, just my point of view, until we start caring about us, and taking care of us, who the hell else is gonna care about us, man? To be honest.
So it's funny you said that. I was going to say, yes, law enforcement is doing it, but for instance, did y'all see the president tweet?
Of course we did.
Yeah.
It said,
I don't see that.
about Michigan.
You
where he
loot, we
say,
shoot.
There we go. Give a little Michigan who wants haircuts.
Hold on, time out.
Give a little Michigan word, because then he said, when looting starts,
The shooting
starts. That's why I say it's bigger than law enforcement.
Yeah, it's
because
political.
if your leader is putting this out there,
Hey, don't call him that, man.
that's what he is right now.
He
Unfortunately.
Hey, he the dude that live at 1600.
There you go, man. But if he's doing that, right, and you got these followers and these people, he's getting in their mind, just creating these monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So, do y'all believe is if someone else was in as a different leader?
Can I go deep?
Go ahead, man.
Can I go deep?
I wanted one thing before you go deep. I need one thing before you go deep, and this is what I need, because this is the thing that it happens a lot, and you know it's very discouraging at times, to say the least. But fresh on the scene, it don't even matter. I've been doing everything in my power to fix whatever situation. Fix whatever situation's going on. The minute I show up, I don't do nothing but step out the car. I'm an Uncle Tom. I'm a house Negro. I'm this. I'm that. And I ain't even done nothing. I've came and bought dinners before. I've bought hotel rooms for people before. And I'm still nothing more. And I've said, I'm nothing more than a Negro.
Dude,
when it comes to those
that's
people.
a mindset.
Ignorant.
And
that's a mindset.
That's ignorance, man.
Ill will.
That's
We know you.
ignorance.
I think that unfortunately, it's a frustrating situation, because when you have people, and we were kind of talking about this a little bit on the last one, about when I was talking about economic development and having, providing for your families and having jobs. There's people that will say, "Oh, you Uncle Tom, because you trying to work. You trying to have a job. Like,
working for the white man.
Working for the white man.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like that type of culture is also part of it too, that we need to help. Like you saying, Dale, is that you gotta, we as a community gotta help with that. You're not condoning the actions that are going on.
No one's condoning acts.
No one's condoning
it's very
the action.
despicable.
But if you don't the cops could be killing people. Cops could be killing people.
Could.
Why would you? Well, they are.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm saying, why would I want to be a part of that organization? Well, how?
That's the reason why I did it, because I wanted to change, and I've changed a lot of things in the things that I've done. I mean, I've truly in my career so far, I've helped a lot of people.
So here's what I say,
lot.
Professor. There's a phrase: either shit or get off the pot. So you're either gonna be part of the solution,
right,
or you're gonna dismiss and separate yourself from the whole situation.
JB, I love it, but I'm about to wake you up. So I got you. I hope you got your blanket. I'm about to wake you up.
Why would I need a blanket if I'm about to wake up?
That's going to sleep to me. You get the blanket. You ready nap now?
You nap time. Because lately you ain't been sleeping with your clothes on. I'm about to dress you up.
I'm about to go sleep, man.
Hey, JB, you about to get dressed up.
I'm about to go sleep.
He got his underwear on. I'm about to dress him up.
Come on, Professor.
That's why I'm going to get the blanket. Ill will.
I'm listening.
I know you, so I know what your intentions are. But I want to wake everybody up here.
All right, I'm listening.
If laws can't protect the black man, diversity sure can't.
We never said
hold on, let me
diversity
finish it,
was
Will. Let me finish it. Think about
it.
Guys,
listen.
Diversity.
But I'm talking about influencing and
going
changing
somewhere.
the culture, though.
But I'm going somewhere. So think about this. Just think. If law, I'm going to say this again before I get to my point. If laws cannot protect us, the police chief, the commissioner, the mayor, the governor can't protect us, Diversity can. Black men do not see the police department or law enforcement as an opportunity. They see it as an enemy.
Some.
Hold on. Let me go there. Okay, let me go there. CRPD or CPD came to every black neighborhood this summer to recruit. I signed up. I took the test. I passed it. I was at the next step. I declined it. Okay. It doesn't matter how many African American men or minorities you add to the police department. It does not matter. Think, if laws that are already in place, if there are sworn oaths that are already in place, and people are dying with these laws and these oaths already in place, diversity can do it. Let me finish.
Let me jump in.
He needs to finish. He got to finish. He got to finish. He got to finish.
So let me wake you up. Let me wake you guys up. Let me wake y'all up. Let me wake y'all up real quick. So the man knows how you guys think.
Who's the man?
Huh?
I thought I was a man.
You are a man, but the man.
Oh, the man
is the man that says is the man that says I'm above the law. Right?
Okay.
He says go ahead and hire as many minorities as you want. So when I'm killing off black men, we can say, hey, we're very diverse. So it's not about prejudice or racism because half of our police force is 50-60%. So we're very diverse. So you can't say that it's due to diversity or it's a culture because we're halfway diverse.
But there's no oath to say you're allowed killing black men, though.
Professor,
I'm not disagreeing.
Can you land that plane and drop this knowledge real quick?
I'm glad you asked that. My point is this. We have seen so many incidences where our young black men and children have been murdered, unarmed and innocent. We have laws in place, and these officers have sworn oaths in front of judicial legislation saying that this is what we vow to do.
You're still talking about individual.
I'm talking about laws now, bro.
Still individuals who do these things, though.
I'm talking about laws.
So I'm
with the laws. Hold on.
Right.
I'm gonna just jump in here now because I feel like I just gotta jump in.
Go ahead. I got a book for you.
So here's the thing. The laws have to be executed. You know that it's an executive branch. They're the ones who gotta live out the law, fulfill the law. Okay, so the law could be on the books, but if you don't have people that look like you that are executing and fulfilling the law,
there you go, man. That's where I was going.
You have to have those individuals executing the law.
So
because
so you're saying the people that look like us have to be
the prosecutors,
the
judges.
Okay.
What was the point? I'll put it to you this way, Professor. What's the point of having any black people in the Congress, in the state Senate,
right,
in any political office whatsoever, if the laws should just stand on their own?
So you're saying
the people who have to vote on the laws, create the laws, execute the laws, and judge the laws, all have to look like the community.
And there's one way to get there.
That's a great question, and thank you for opening it up. Amy Cooper.
That wasn't a question, bro.
Yeah, it was a statement. So Amy Cooper called the cops on a brother who was only asking her to abide by the law. That's a culture.
I mean, I get it, but we ain't even made it to that yet. We still on George.
I'm making a point. So you guys believe that we have the power to influence a law?
We do. We truly do.
We do.
Hold on. Influence the same law that doesn't protect us? Are you guys? Are you awake?
Are y'all awake? If you're having these same people,
you talking about the same?
Hold on. If you have these same people of color in these offices to
to
be able to introduce these laws, that's how they get done. You have to be able to have someone there that can introduce these bills.
I got a question, and you didn't answer it. And you
all right, now come on.
You skated around it.
All right, well, come on,
Professor. You gotta get there.
What is the oath? What is the oath of law enforcement?
What,
brother? Listen.
Hold on, man. That was for ill will. What is the oath?
But listen, we're not talking about law enforcement.
I'm making a point. I'm making a point.
You put the right people in place.
No, I'm making a point. I'm asking about an oath.
Protect and serve. I'm gonna say it.
Okay. is that just subject to interpretation?
It's the
because
oath
our brothers
that
are
took.
dying,
But
and
that's
you guys
those
are saying
individuals.
Listen, so you guys are saying that the same law.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm sorry.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of said state, with administered justice without respect to persons, and will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all of the duties incumbent upon me as according to the best of my ability.
So here's what I'll say to that, Professor. It takes individuals to live out that oath.
It does. It takes an individual.
It takes an individual to live out that oath, and that individual's background, experiences, life struggles.
Gotcha.
Who's going to live out that oath? The more diverse that is, the better it'll be.
If you have black congressmen, black congresswomen,
Say
black
it.
state,
Say it.
House of Representatives,
Say
and
it.
things like that, they can introduce these laws, introduce these bills,
I got a question.
introduce these things
Got a question.
to help out.
Do we have black congressmen right now? Do we have black senators right now?
Okay, and that's
hold on.
And that's
Yes or no?
I'll listen. I was about to support you
Is
on
it-
that.
hold on,
I'm
is
about
it
to
yes
support
or
you on
no?
that.
But let me
I'm
tell
gonna
y'all
support
something.
you.
Yes or no?
I'm gonna support you on that. We do.
Too
we
easy.
do have it. We do have
In
it.
the city.
What's
But
the difference?
But they have to. But so we do have black women and men, and we have black people in there. But you can't just be black.
You just can't. That's not
You
it.
just
That's
gotta
not-
be black.
I mean,
You
that was
gotta-
the
you
whole
gotta-
thing with
you gotta
Obama
support-
cannot just only help black people. That's-
Exactly. You got it. But they have to support our issues. Now, to go back to your question,
And
you asked me earlier,
honestly, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that's black that's supporting the issue.
It doesn't. You're right.
It got to be the right person.
And to be honest with you, I will agree with you on this, Professor, that there has to be other people than black and brown
It
people
does.
who are upholding these oaths to the fullest for everybody. So yes, you're right on that sense, but the people who have to execute these laws that are put in place that are passed, they need to look like the people who are in these communities, and that's just the reality.
JB, it's not the ones who execute them; it's the one who enforces them. Because you can execute a law, but if you're not enforcing it, you're dead in the water, sir.
No, and I'm gonna disagree with you there, because it goes back to my point. I was making
or enforce.
Is it called law execution or law enforcement?
It's not.
It's
listen,
enforcement of the law.
But listen, this is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
though.
saying. It's the executive branch, man.
But this is what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying
It could
about
be the
that.
enforcement branch, sure. Okay.
To your point, Professor. Listen, to your point to that. Y'all silly.
He get
man.
two on that.
But Professor, to your point, right? To your point, as far as execution of the law or the enforcement of the law. Now, think about this: when you're the enforcer of the law and you break the law, as if we seen with the guy in Minnesota, he broke the law by holding his knee on that guy's neck, right? So because he broke the law, it goes up to the next step, right? As execution of the law. Now, the people of the next step need to do something about it. They got to do something about it.
They're the ones who are judging it. They're the ones who are.
And that's like I said before earlier, that's where when you want to talk about change, that's where in my opinion, that's where the change need to come. When you break the law, right, wrong, black, white, don't matter who you are. When you're an officer and you break the law, you need to be punished for it.
So, Dale,
let
me ask you a question. When you
Go
talk about,
ahead, D.
You talking about change, okay? We had change.
Right.
Do you think us as changing the mind, I'm going to say the word white people, that's who's killing, white officers who's killing the black men, right? So it ain't just that white officer who probably feel that way, because this is obviously a racist issue, correct? So if we're changing the mindset of overall people, because maybe either he racist or maybe he just don't understand us. So you think sometimes that, my opinion, I believe sometimes people are fearful of what they don't know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay? So things like right now, we're having an open conversation, right?
Yeah.
So what if we just start having an open conversation with our white neighbors, with our whoever they are, just talking about this issue? Right. I tell you, all day long, I didn't talk to white people all day long about this. from my age had a couple this morning. They were 80 years old. They brought it to me. We said about 30 minutes we talked about it. The gentleman said he could not sleep last night over this. I'm on social media now. I'm looking. They're downtown Columbus protesting. They were rioting last night. Is breaking windows going to solve this?
Hell no.
So
that's a damn crime.
Hey, D, I got a question.
Now, hold on. Let me tell you. I will agree. Breaking windows will get attention. So you got all this attention, and people are looking. What you gonna do with this attention? Because guess what? 3 months down the line, it's done. We're done with it.
Like
right?
always.
So D, my question to you is, breaking windows don't solve it, right?
It doesn't.
But walking down the street innocently, not committing a crime, and still being murdered.
But what I'm telling you,
so my question is, what solves it? If you're not if you're not committing a crime and you're still subject to death by law execution,
fearful of what you don't
by
know.
way of law enforcement, how do you do it?
So hold on, real quick, here.
Go ahead.
Do we all have white friends?
Absolutely.
No. I'm gonna keep real with you.
All right. Do we all have white associates?
Yes.
I have people that work for me that are white. But no white friends.
Oh, man.
All right, go ahead, D.
Friends
go
are
ahead,
people
D.
I can trust. Friends are people I can trust.
You got a button for that, man.
I don't even know what button even to do.
Friends are people I can trust.
All right, look here, brother.
All right. We know white people.
We know white people, and I am cool with some white people because them white people, and the way I act right now around my brothers, act the same way around white people.
For sure.
So them white people understands me, they're comfort to me. Do you feel that if the white people understood us more, hey, yeah, hear me out.
Yeah,
sometimes on TV you may see
dude, they'll never understand this, man.
It's the fact that they understand this that they're so damn deceptive.
Hear me out. They may not.
Come on, bro.
But what if you wasn't a threat? There we go.
We always gonna be a threat because they know our history more than we do.
Absolutely.
Hey, do you feel me?
Hey, Professor.
It's because they understand us that they're so fucking deceptive.
Man, I'm trying to tell y'all.
They understand us very well.
So do y'all not believe open conversations?
What culture does everything in their power to murder another culture if we're so weak and we're so dumb?
Hold on, time out. Let him D, finish your sentence. Finish your thought.
I apologize, D, you right.
Go ahead.
I'm always right. So listen here, though.
In your head,
yeah, with your right hand, nigga.
It's my hand.
It's your hand. You the boss of your hand.
Go ahead, finish.
So, I have white friends. I have white neighbors. I have white people that I know.
You live in the fucking suburbs.
Shut up, man.
They got bonsai trees and shit.
All right, shut up, man.
Y'all motherfucking air is different.
All right,
listen.
Go ahead.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad you live in the suburbs. We need black folks in the suburbs.
Hey, guess what? The motherfucking air smell like barbecue and shit.
Charcoal.
Polluting the air and shit with charcoal and barbecue.
Man, that's Kingsford, bro.
Y'all niggas let me talk.
Go ahead.
Kingsford's a black company.
All right.
Let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic.
So what I'm saying, honestly, do y'all believe, and I ain't talking about, you're in law enforcement, but this is a nationwide, it's a culture. It's a people thing, man. It's a people thing. I think we got to change how people think.
It's a culture. Listen, but
you do have to understand at the end of the day, it is individuals. It's not a collective of the whole group. It's individuals in anything that you do.
You're right.
There's always a radical.
It will. Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Who made you a citizen of this country? It's a very easy question. Who made you a citizen of this country?
Seeing that I was born here,
parents, man, when he was born.
I'm being serious. Who made you a citizen?
I mean, seeing that I was born here.
You won't say a white
The
man.
United States government.
How in the fuck can a white man make you a citizen of a country that belongs to Native Americans?
Exactly.
This country was stolen. It was built upon the wrong things.
Yes.
It was taken. So if you want to talk, if y'all really want to talk, I'll join the conversation if y'all want to be honest. Indians own, this is Native American territory.
Correct.
White folks stole it.
Yes.
I don't have any white friends.
Okay.
I have white people to work for me because I'm not stupid and I'm woke. I'm very woke, right? I know the nature of some. I know the culture of others. The point is this. This country was stolen. It was built upon the wrong things. It had the cheapest cost in infrastructure. Shit would have made $1 million the first week. The infrastructure was cheap. They gave you fucking cornbread and beans to build railroads. Okay? JB would have made $1 million the first week. But I'm making a point. I'm making a point. Y'all have become desensitized because y'all live in the suburbs. You got opportunity, but if you really think and go back to how this country was built, how can you really think?
But you know
that,
what?
Hold on, I'm not done yet, Will. That having diversity changes things when this country was built upon the very thing.
Hold on.
Let me.
Mine's gonna be real quick.
Ready.
It's
I'm
real
ready.
quick.
I'm ready. Let's get it.
I mean, no one said it better.
I'm ready.
And
Let's get
I
it.
see where he's at right now.
Yeah,
but
let's get it.
When
I'm
he
ready.
said this,
I'm ready.
no one said it better than Lil Wayne. I may live in the suburbs, but I come from the hood. I know where I came from. And I can always go back and still survive where I came from. If I lost every damn dollar I had today, I could live back where I came from with no damn problem.
You can take a quarter ounce and build back up.
I could get all this shit could disappear today.
Listen.
Hey, I ain't trying to go to the hood.
I ain't trying to go back.
So I ain't going backwards.
So listen.
Hold
Let
on.
me
So
ask
Ill
you
Will
what-
said he can flip a nickel. He can flip the nickel and get it all back.
I've done it several times before.
D said he ain't going backwards. He's too comfortable.
Go ahead, JB.
He like them soft pillows.
Go ahead, JB.
Here,
birds.
Professor. I guess
He get the concrete patio.
All right, y'all. All right.
Hey,
all right, come on.
Professor.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Professor, I just want to ask this question.
Go ahead. I'm answering.
So what is your solution?
There you go.
Great question.
Good question.
My solution is that we fight back.
How?
What does your fight back look like?
My point is, for every black man that's killed, we take it. We take one. I'm sorry.
That's
Malcolm X.
Let me tell you something.
When you strip now by doing that, when you start taking these fathers away from their kids because they decided to live under their mentality, now you're stripping the black man from these homes where he needed to be in the first place.
So what's
you too late on that?
Not
Hold on, you too late on that because when the white man brought when a white man brought cocaine and heroin from Nicaragua, he already did that. So you too late for that. Anyway,
that's not all situations. That's not all situations.
Let's
move to the next one.
So let me ask you a question. With your solution, what makes your you
That's
any different?
any different
That is
than a
hate
white
with
cop?
Because you're not fighting hate with hate, and the Constitution says you have the right to defend yourself.
Yeah, but that's
But you
not
know
what-
what? I'm about to pull him in. I'm about to pull him in.
Hold on.
I'm about to pull him in.
Let's go. Let's go.
No, I'm about to pull him in. Because my thing is.
Hold on. I'm not done.
Oh,
The Constitution says you can defend yourself against an enemy, foreign or domestic. Only a slave believes that he's supposed to take the punishment and do nothing.
But
only
okay.
a slave believes that.
But okay. With the conversation,
again, only a
with the
slave believes
Constitution,
that.
okay. But my thing is gonna be like this right now.
Let's get it.
But what does the Bible tell you to do?
Oh,
Turn the cheek.
Turn the other cheek.
Because at the end of the day, I want His forgiveness. I don't want man's forgiveness.
That is true.
However, our Bible has been altered. And if you talk to so let's talk about this. So I was reading the Bible the other day, and it was talking about the rivers that flow out of Africa. And one of the rivers that flew out of Africa came from Ethiopia.
Correct.
I think it was the second river that flew out of Africa. So I was at work and I was talking to a couple of Ethiopians. And I said, "Hey, what do you guys think about the Bible?" They said whether new or old, one of the testaments is accurate, one of them is inaccurate.
You should be talking religion at work.
They're telling me that. Right. Well, against the law to kill a man innocently.
Oh God.
But y'all ain't say shit about that. But that's fine.
We have been. That's what the whole conversation has been about.
Yeah.
Talk about
But y'all niggas advocate for Ethiopian talking about the Bible at work.
Go ahead,
but you niggas is too soft to advocate for a man who loses his life. Okay, I'm ready. You're ready. You're ready. Yeah, again, reporting live, nigga. That's what it is. Reporting live. But the point is this. I have heard from Ethiopians. I've heard from people from Somalia. I've heard from people from other Middle Eastern countries that practice the Muslim religion and other religion that said that some of our Bible has been edited.
Oh,
Because
now
they're Muslim, right?
first of all,
hold on. You ready for this?
I'm going to ask you some
Because
some is an understatement.
Well, some because
a lot of it.
well,
been,
brother,
been
I say
edited.
some because I haven't talked to all. But yes, a lot of the Bible
I'm
has been
talking about
edited.
a lot of the Bible.
But the
been
point is this.
edited.
The point is this.
So your
A
solution
person
is to kill.
No, my person. No.
Right.
You say a life for a
No,
life, man.
no. What I'm saying is,
that's the dumbest shit ever, man.
D.
You can't say that, bro.
So D, I got a question. So D, I got a question. Hold on. D, I got a question.
What's up?
So if a man break into your, so if a man come into your home
what was
to
that
hurt
movie,
your wife and your daughter,
Infinity Wars or
so
something?
nigga, would you say it's dumb
Trying
to
to get the
protect
Soul
them?
Stone?
Not at all.
That's what
Life
I'm
for
saying.
life.
Not at all, bro.
There you go. So my point is, our brothers and sisters, it is our duty to protect them.
You can't
If
be
they are-
killing people.
Listen, listen, D. If they are innocent
Just
and they're
can't-
walking down the street eating a pack of Skittles,
First of all,
they can't defend themselves
Hey,
against an enemy
I'm
or
assuming,
domestic.
I'm assuming you get.
But the Skittles wasn't a police officer.
Skittles was a dickhead, getting off through our judicial system, who you guys believe, if it's more diverse.
Whoa.
The
But see,
system-
that had nothing to do with my
but-
level. If you put it when you
But
say
the system was never designed for us anyway.
Yeah,
And you guys talking about diversity.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. The system was never designed for the black man.
So-
you are absolutely
But you
correct.
niggas are saying
we can
diversify.
go
More
go
niggas
back.
in there, we can do it.
No, that's not the
Basically,
point,
they
though.
saying
you listen though.
that is part
listen.
of a solution, not
Listen,
the end
Ain't no
all.
solution.
Mr. Professor, you gotta listen. Sometimes the
So
teacher got to be the student.
sometimes
you know what I
the-
mean?
I got my
sometimes
pencil and
professor-
paper.
You got it, I mean?
So absolutely, we're not saying diversity is the fix all. Absolutely not.
it's a piece of it.
But if we have more people that look like us and can relate, when we talk about culture, relate to the culture of us in positions, in positions that can make a difference. That can make a
Influence.
difference. And influence.
Influence. Imagine
Now-
the influence you would have.
If let's say if you was
Seriously.
in the Senate, put you in the Senate,
Imagine the influence you would have.
and who you are today,
Ill
put
will,
you in
the
the Senate.
influence you would have.
Professor,
You know us.
do you just want to go back to Africa, brother?
I would love to, because niggas was stronger mentally and they were stronger physically.
Hey, there wasn't.
And I'm gonna tell you that there's nothing worse than being surrounded by slaves.
I ain't
all
going
day.
back nowhere.
But let me
There
tell you
wasn't-
this.
there
But let me.
wasn't-
But let
No,
me.
I'm just being real.
But let me
dude.
tell you
I'm
this.
just-
I
I'm
would
just
definitely
saying
go back.
Kings
You know
and
why?
queens.
Because unlike some niggas, it's an honor
Once
because
again,
that's where our
you
Christ
keep
was
saying
born.
niggas.
I
So
understand.
what I'm
There's
saying
no
is,
niggas in
I
Africa.
apologize. Thank you. And your deep voice is kind of, yes, I like it. Thank you.
All right, cool.
The point is this.
There's no niggas in
I
Africa.
will go back to Africa anytime because that's an honor.
No, what I'm saying is
Today, Africa?
we're talking.
The solution
we're
is
talking about
this.
solution. We're
It's
talking about
okay.
solution.
I'm telling you that it's okay to defend yourself against an enemy,
That's why they
foreign
here.
or domestic.
They running from
If,
Africa.
let me tell you something.
You want to go back?
If an Iraqi did the same thing to an African American
Oh,
on our soil, it would be considered terrorism.
let's bring
But
this back. To what we're
because
talking
a
about.
cop-
How do we fix it?
Listen,
How do
all
you-
that was the
listen, we
question.
got
What's the
How-
solution?
So what's the solution?
What's the
So let me
solution?
stop.
to defend
So your
yourself.
solution-
Professor, yours
To
is
defend
skill.
yourself.
So, Professor-
The
Let's move
answer.
on. Let's
Defend
move on.
yourself.
Let's move on.
Defend yourself.
Ill will. What's-
Defend yourself.
We're done.
Defend yourself.
Ill will. What's your solution?
Defend
Because he
yourself.
wanted to kill.
Hey,
We good.
just hate.
Y'all but you know what? I
Hold
never
on,
thought y'all would
time
have a
out.
slave mentality.
No,
You were
You're
done.
saying that you saying it's murder if
It's
you defend
murder.
yourself. It's called
A body for a body?
No.
That's what
hate
you said. Your first thing was a body for a body.
Body for a
man.
body.
That's what you first said.
There's one thing
You
to
get
defend
nowhere.
yourself.
if
Hey,
you try
Professor,
to attack me.
If you were in a
If you
position,
try to attack me, you
right. If you try to
you're gonna
attack
be met
you,
with gunfire because I'm
Right.
defending myself.
right.
That's not-
But if
that's
I'm not
somebody-
doing anything
So
wrong.
let-
if somebody is already killed,
Uh-huh.
okay.
How do we change that?
Then listen, Professor. You saying body for a body?
That's a different answer.
If somebody's
No.
already killed,
Different
listen.
question.
But that's what we talking
That's
about.
what we're talking
Okay.
about, though.
We're talking about George.
That was the question.
Yeah.
Floyd.
So my
George
answer to
Floyd's
that-
Killed,
so my answer
how
to
do
that-
how we saw the solution? You said body for a body.
No.
So then now we got to go out
What
and
I'm
get
saying
a
is,
body?
if they're trying to hurt you, you
We're
have
talking
every.
about George Floyd.
I'm about to answer that. I'm about to answer that.
All right.
They have every right to defend themselves if you're trying
But
to.
let's
hurt me.
stick to the subject.
So my
Please.
point is, the laws are not.
So how do we fix this,
We talking about,
Professor?
and we're talking about.
No, we do.
We're talking
We
about
go
the
back to
police.
Africa.
We're talking about the police.
That's
All
what
right.
I asked you
All
the
right,
first
cool.
time.
All right,
I
cool,
said, so
cool.
that's the answer.
All right,
That's
Do y'all
the-
realize white people stole this?
Professors-
Hold on, let me finish.
You got.
Y'all don't want to hear the truth. Y'all love being slaves.
No.
Y'all love
First of
being
all-
slaves.
Okay, all right.
White
Why-
people
Professor,
stole this country.
Professor.
Now y'all saying,
Yes,
oh,
we
boss,
know
Master
that.
gave me opportunity.
We
can't
know
go back
that.
killing, but they killing
We
your brothers and
know
sisters.
that.
Professor,
Y'all love being
Professor,
slaves.
listen,
Professor,
Professor,
why- hey,
we
pro-
know
hold
that.
It's
on,
okay.
hold on,
Ain't no
hold on,
price
Dan,
tag on
hold
my
on,
slave.
Dan.
And I tell you this, let a motherfucker come to my house I'm gonna let the motherfucker have it.
That's
all we
not
talking
the
about.
same
Listen,
thing. The
difference between me and a
I'm
lot
not
of people
understanding
is,
why you are still here.
listen, the difference
Why
between
are
me.
you still here?
Let a person listen. I was in the military 15 years, deployed
No,
3
I'm
times.
saying, why are you still here?
What do you mean?
Why you still in America, not
Right.
in Africa?
Thank you. Why
That's
are
a
you
good
still
point.
here?
We talking about it.
They got
I
flights.
ain't got no problem. I'll take one in the heartbeat.
It sounds like
listen.
you
All
are
right,
late
can we-
on your
can
plane
we-
getting
can
to
we
Africa.
Nah,
go around the
it's
circle
Real talk.
so we
Real
make
talk.
it
I'm-
answer?
Listen.
Hold on, Dale,
Can
hold
we
on.
move
Hold on, Dale,
so I can get an
hold
answer?
on.
Listen.
Listen, y'all. Real talk. Real talk.
This
How-
is gonna be the wrap up. This is gonna be the wrap
Hold
up.
on. I'm gonna say this one thing. I'm as late on my plane as you enjoy being a slave,
Ooh.
How do we fix
and
it?
you
Dropping
really enjoy
knowledge.
it.
He dropping
Yeah.
knowledge.
So look,
enjoy
okay,
it.
so
But I'm gonna tell
let's
you
go.
this.
Next on the
Me and my
next
wife
on the
has been
circle.
talking about going to Johannesburg.
right.
We've been talking about it.
That's
I'm,
Johannesburg.
listen,
that's
Johannesburg.
one of the
Africa,
whitest
bro.
places in Africa.
All
Why
right.
would you go there?
You know why? You know
Why
what
you go there?
Let me tell you why.
It was somebody
Let me tell you why.
English.
And it's
Why
not
would you
white.
go
It's
there?
Asian. It's Asian. Asians own the Africa part of Asia.
Why would you go to
tell you
Johannesburg
why.
out of all places?
tell you
Anyway,
why.
that's not where we about to go.
No,
all right,
hold on.
Let's finish
It
this.
will.
Keep
It
going
will.
around.
Hold on.
Like
It
I
will.
said, my solution.
Let's
I
go.
mean, we do. You
we're gonna
to
respect each
affect
other's
change,
time.
you have to start. You have to be the change.
Yes.
Nothing's going to change if you sitting on your couch talking about, man, this is fucked up. Man, I don't like seeing this. Man, what is going on? Man, I'm tired of this. But if you're not getting up off that couch to go affect some of that change, you're just a part of the problem as everything else. So the change has to begin with you. If you're not getting up, just putting examples out there, trying to get
I
the
disagree.
diverse and
Mark,
you can
well,
just.
well, guess
I'm
what?
gonna tell you
It
right.
ain't
Can I
your
go
turn.
deep? Can I
It's
go
not-
deep?
It's not your
All
turn
right,
right now.
hold on.
It's not your turn right now. It's not your turn right
I
now.
got one point.
Hold on, time. It's not your
One
turn.
point.
Listen,
No,
we in a circle.
it's the circle.
Listen, I know you didn't do that good in elementary with shapes, but a circle go this way, and then we're gonna come back to you. All right, Professor?
Well, I'm not the only 30-year-old that's packing a lunch. But the point is,
we done.
All right,
we
we good,
moving.
we
We
good.
gotta
All right.
keep moving. We're
All
running.
right,
We're
keep
running
moving.
through. We gotta keep
All right,
moving.
move
yeah.
on. Go
Y'all-
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead and say for
brother.
that. Y'all go ahead. Y'all got that. Y'all got
Go
that.
ahead, brother.
Yeah,
D.
Martin Luther King got murdered for being from nonviolent, and you guys still think as a slave mentality that still works.
Hey,
That was 1950.
Hey,
it's
Malcolm
2020.
Malcolm X got murdered, and
yeah,
he bleeding
because they knew what time. Because they knew.
So what's the
no.
difference?
Because he knew what
They both-
time it was.
But they both got killed. though.
Listen, one got killed. One got killed for being a slave. One got killed for not being a slave.
But
that's
at
the point.
At the end of the day, they what?
Choose your point.
At the end of the day, what?
Got murdered.
My point exactly.
All right,
Go ahead, D.
Yeah. Listen,
D,
man,
what is it?
you ain't got to justify being a slave to me. If that's what you want to be, be.
no.
Listen,
Listen,
Go ahead.
listen.
but I'm gonna tell you this. You come to my house with the bullshit, I'm gonna come holler at you. You pull me over with the bullshit, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna come holler at you. I'm thorough.
All
And
right,
nigga,
go
I
ahead.
die for it.
Go ahead.
Nigga,
Go
believe
ahead,
that.
brother.
Now, you want to turn the nigga
Brother.
on? I die for it.
Man,
Believe
if you
that.
don't shut your strong ass up, listen, man.
I feel like I
that.
should say I'm black,
I'll
y'all.
pull it in.
I'm black as in
Listen,
black, cause
I'm
I'm
black,
black, y'all.
Listen.
I'm black.
And I'm
I will
black.
die for it.
All right, go ahead.
Before I let
Go
somebody
ahead.
take
Go
my
ahead.
shit,
Go ahead.
I die for it.
Hey, I'm
Believe
gonna
that.
I'm gonna go
Nigga,
piss and
because you gotta
Professor
die anyway. Die on your fucking feet. Don't
I'm
die
a-
on your knees.
All right, D. What's the solution? What's the
Yeah,
solution?
yeah.
What's your
Report
solution?
live,
What's the
nigga.
solution, D?
Listen,
What's the
all right.
solution?
Solution, y'all. That's what we're gonna do. We gotta do. Educate them. Take away the fear, and we gotta vote. We gotta put the right people in the right places to create the right laws, to enforce the right laws. Yeah. It's a process, man. I understand, but vote. Right people in the right places, create the right laws, enforce the right laws.
Yeah, and the people who are enforcing those laws.
That's it.
Yeah.
So a prime example, as long as it took that prosecutor and said, we got to go do this, do that to
Get
arrest
the
this
charges
guy.
and everything, yeah.
If you got the right person there, that decision probably could have been made a whole lot quicker, where right now people downtown tearing shit up, breaking windows, it ain't solving shit, man. Because if that same crowd would come out and use their voice and vote and do all that, imagine how strong we'll be. I'm telling you, man.
Brother, at the end of the day, you know, it's not a, it's a very gray. It ain't black and white. You know, it's a lot of grays. It's a lot of degrees. You can't solve the issue with just one final stroke.
Can't kill nobody and say we done.
Yeah, body for a body.
Please,
like-
your turn
like
is
I
done.
said,
You're done.
If you, like I said, if you love being a slave and you want people to kill your family, go ahead and lay back and do it.
Oh,
Go ahead, JB.
But I assure you this.
Go ahead,
All right,
JB.
JB.
There's nothing wrong
It's all right.
with
So
defending yourself.
let JB say something.
It's called self-defense.
Go
So
ahead.
you can defend yourself.
Self-defense is when you in the act of being
Go ahead.
attacked.
Yeah.
Nah.
Go
Well,
ahead.
if you love massa, it ain't called self-defense. It's called murder.
All right.
If
JB,
you love master.
and we out after you. What?
So, you know, at the end of the day, we have to elect people who look like us, have people who are enforcing the laws that look like us, and the people who are, you know, creating the laws and judging the laws that look like us. So, I mean, to me, that's the biggest part of it. And, you know, I appreciate the professor's passion about it, but we have to think about the long-term benefit.
It's all about the long game.
In the long game, and in the short game is the rioting. The short game is that's a short game thing. Short game is body for body. Long term is influencing, you know, being part of the civic process to the way that you know, you can influence a lot of change. Now, and if you don't want to be a part of that civic process, you can always get on the plane and go to another country.
And on that note, this has been another episode of Black in Thought.
It's gonna cut me out. I don't get to say what I want to say. That's okay. Next time, be prepared. I got something.
Thank you for listening to this episode, and we want you to come back for more. If you like what you heard, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from. We're on all the major networks: Apple, Google, TuneIn, Spotify, and many more. Check out our social media, and please like, follow, and comment on Facebook, Black in Thought, Instagram, Black in Thought Podcast, and Twitter, Black in Thought Podcast. Please subscribe, share, and once again, thank you for listening.